Hello, I'm Eric, a sales rep here at Atlantic British. Today we're going to talk about building up a Discovery 2 into an off-road vehicle. They've gotten really affordable now. You can pick up a D2 for $3,500 to $5,000, put $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in it, and have a very good off-road vehicle. This one we picked up a couple years ago. We've been driving it around. We've used it as a test mule, so now we're going to build it up into an off-road truck. With Doug's help, we're going to put suspension, front and rear bumpers, and then slowly build it up into a lifestyle truck. We'll have videos that'll show Doug doing each process, and we'll post those as time goes on. This truck's in good shape. It's very straight for the year, and we've had it for a few years, as I said. So stay tuned, and we'll have more information as time goes on.
Hi, I'm Doug, your tech support representative here at Atlantic British, and welcome back to Project D2. What we have here is a Baja rack, which is essentially just an additional storage rack that mounts on top of the vehicle to give you additional space and to get items that don't need to be carried around inside up top for easier accessibility, especially with some of your off-road equipment. Now what you see here is the unit that we're going to be mounting on our Discovery 2, our Project D2, if you've been following the video. And essentially what this is going to do is going to also add to what they consider what they call a lifestyle function. Now you'll notice that the front of the rack actually contours down and sort of blends in with the contour of the vehicle, which is going to give it a much better look. It's a large rack. It looks heavy, and it is built very well, but it is light enough where two adults could easily pick it up, put it on top of the vehicle. You have 4 additional brackets in the front where you can mount additional lighting. You have an air deflector in the front, and in the back you'll notice 2 additional brackets that are thoughtfully drilled out where you could add either another accessory bolt on or you could put auxiliary lighting on. Now again, like I said, this is an easy installation. We're going to show you the pads on how these mount in, and basically this is exactly how it came out of the box with all the hardware and everything already mounted on it. Alright, just to show you exactly how this mounts on, you actually take 2 people. 4 would be better, but 2 is excellent, will work. Set this on top of the vehicle so that essentially this padded area right here is going to fall into the groove of the rain gutter. This outer piece right here with the 90-degree bend is going to grab around the rain gutter and grab from underneath, and you can adjust that by running this bolt up or down, which is going to change the height position of the bracket, and essentially go around and do all 4. And what they recommend is on the front bracket, which is adjustable, you're going to run this up high, get the other 3 set up, and then you loosen these bolts to drop this down so it seats in the gutter, and then wrap this around the gutter itself. And essentially it's just a matter of tightening the top bolt to bring this piece up to pinch it in place. The instructions will give you a specific torque to set them to, so for the best application. And then once that's done, you're going to take an Allen wrench and you're going to tighten these front pieces, these small screws right here, and that's going to essentially lock that into place so it can't back off. And that's really all there is to it. This whole installation, it probably take you longer to take it out of the box than it is to mount it up on top of your vehicle. Now we're going to tell you stay tuned, because we have other videos that we're going to show you how you can mount and add on accessories to this to give you the full off-road experience. Alright, so now with a couple friends, we've picked up the rack and we've set it on top. I'm going to recommend that you take the vertical bolts and all the clamp brackets out before you do that, because they really don't pull away with enough clearance so that you can easily move the rack around and set it in place. So we've taken them all out. Doesn't take very long. And then once you've got it up on top, you're going to notice that the front bracket has 2 bolts on it that allows you to take this plate and move it up and down. So that's essentially what you're going to do, is once the 3 in the back have settled in, you can move this around, seat that. You'll feel where you're seated at the bottom of this rain gutter, and then we're just going to tighten those down and snug it into position. That's with a 1/2-inch wrench. So now you've got that in position. Now what you're going to also find is these little studs right here can come right out. They just have a stud and a nut. These are the lockdowns for the vertical bolts, and what you want to do with these to make it easier on your installation, you'll see that the back of the stud has a point on it, so we're going to run that down so that that point is just inside the outer edge of the nut. And that's going to give you your most amount of clearance when you go to put the vertical bolt back in, so that we can put the clamps on. And we're going to show you how to do that in just a second. Now, as you can see, there's nothing that really holds that in place, so you want to extend this out as far as possible so that it doesn't drop out like it did here. And we'll just pop that back in before we put the bolt in. So we're going to move to the back, and we're going to show you how to install the vertical bolts and hold-on clamps. Alright, so you have vertical bolt, the large black washer, and the clamp. And as I said, we've run the lockdown stud so that just the back of the stud is flush with the outer edge of the nut. So we have enough room to slide this down. Once we get past the pole, we can angle that out a little bit. And just essentially, what's nice too is this is like a foam rubber lining in here, so that when this clamps up to the rain gutter, it's not going to scratch everything up. So you just line up your threads and start your bolt. And then what we're going to do is get a 9/16 wrench, and we'll turn that in until this clamp comes up and locks down. And then we just take the small hex driver and spin that in until that locks down. Alright, so just want to show you the finished product. So we got our bolt in. Don't worry about if this black nut or the black washer is not lined up perfect with the bracket. That's fine, it's just there as a washer. We're threaded down in. We got the clamp tight. You don't have to make it too tight. In fact, when you read the instructions, there is actually a specified torque. I would use the torque range to hold everything down. There's also a torque rating for the lockdown screws. Just make sure you read the instructions. It'll give you the specifications in there. And that's essentially all you need to do. And now we're just going to walk around and do the other 7. And this rack is on and secure, and it's not going anywhere. So when you're ready to expand the cargo area of your D2 or basically any of your Land Rovers, just give a call to any of our knowledgeable salesmen at 1-800-533-2210. And thanks for watching.